You got spiritual things that is out there coming from other dimensions other than planets. It's a difference. Planet hell, Sirius takes you 8 light years to get from, and that's one of the closest one in the fall of our solar system. You see what I'm saying? Hell, we can't even go to motherfucking California. We can't go across town without running out of gas. So the cracker can't even produce no fuel that could take us from one planet to the other. Hell, he ain't never even been to the goddamn moon. That's fake. They created that right out in Hollywood. It's even in the movie Diamonds Are Forever. Sean Connery's last movie before he came back in 83, in his last movie as James Bond, they hoped that was a whole hoax. And everybody in that Apollo program from 1961, the majority of people are dead. They faked all of that type of stuff. My point here is this. Now try to understand this type of thing. The physical side of the UFOs, what it was, there was a whole spiritual side that people had been seeing things all over the world that they were going to have to answer to. So the government decided to come in with the physical stuff, start abducting people, have the same little old green bug-eyed suits. Now the green bug-eyed suits, if you get the movie Fire in the Sky and go to they was on the ship, they showed a closet full of the suits hanging up. So when these people report seeing the same thing, those are suits that these people get into, and they drug these people all up and they see the same images. The real image that came from Aleister Crowley's vision of Lamb that he got in 1919 that they aired at Greenwich Village up in New York City, and they took that picture of Lamb. Let's see if I got some pictures of Lamb. They took that picture of Lamb and put the bug eyes and been seeing the same little shit over and over again. That is government. That is government. You see what I'm saying? My point here is, I deal with the same spirit traps. I got one follow me all the time. It's been following me the whole time. The other week I was on the plane and the plane dipped. And everybody kind of jumped, and I looked outside and the ship was right out there. But I know what that ship is. It ain't no physical ship with no bug-eyed people from no other planet. It's no different. Even your boy Pat Robertson. You got to understand these crackers that run this world. The ones that's on TV. They don't run this world for not knowing. Even Pat Robertson, when Independence Day came out, he said the people are looking for this physical bullshit. See, this is when, you know, he do all that Jesus shit, but then he had to come on and he started dropping. Because he don't put no cracker, got a whole network if he ain't down with the Illuminati and all that shit. He do the Jesus shit to keep motherfuckers dead. You see what I'm saying? He came in and said, these motherfuckers thinking there's physical ships out here. He said, but there are spacecraft and there are aliens. But he said this, he said, but they are angels. They are entities. There was a book called Thompson put out called Angels and Aliens back here in the early 90s. See? You still might be able to get it. But the thing about it here is this here. Now you talking about that thing out there. The Michael Talbot's book, The Holographic Universe, and he's getting it from the occult realms. It's all explained in the Kabbalistic system, which came off the Temple of Komombo in Egypt and the Temple of Dendera in Kemet. You see what I'm saying? Temple of Dendera in Kemet. See, this is what I say. You ought to be able to trace certain things back to when your people were speaking and make the analogy. Then these crackers and new motherfuckers coming up with this new shit that you can't find. Right here is the same concept of the UFO, where you see these gods among the boat. You see that all over Kemet, especially the Temple of Dendera. The gods among the boat. Now, this is the key on that, is this. These gods are nothing but components of us, so that means that we are connected with the ships. I'm going to get into all that type of thing because I gave you something in your package that looked like this. You will see something in your package. See, this is based on scholarship. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying you can fool around with the, what's going on.
Now, what about things like the Dogon tribe? And what about things like the...
Yeah.
What about, because you know, the Dogon tribe talks about what they call the nomos.
The nomos. I got an extensive study on that. My first tape was on the Dogon.
They talk about the Ark, and the Ark...
Yeah, Nomos Ark.
And then what about the ancient Tamarans, where they talk about the different troglodytes, or the reptilian beings? Or what do they talk about?
Okay, look. All right. We're going to get into all that. That's good stuff.
About the Zulu.
Wait a minute.
What about Shaka Zulu? Because Shaka
You
Zulu.
fucking with the master. I can
What about the
I'm getting ready
hundred
to tell you.
stars and the stars?
Wait a minute. What I'm trying to tell you is this.
Nobody know that.
Listen to me. I just said, I didn't say that there weren't aliens in spacecraft. I said that they weren't physical.
I'm just checking you.
No.
I gotta check.
Wait a minute, hold on. What I'm trying to say is this. Now listen to me. Now go back. Everything I just said, didn't I just show a picture? Y'all got to listen to what I'm saying here.
That's
Just listen
elementary,
to
though. I feel you.
Yeah.
Listen, I just said, I didn't say that there were spacecraft and, hey, no, you're going to get this. I gave him one. But I'm talking about there's a yantra in there. Let me hold your thing. There's a picture that's folded up
Oh, okay.
right here.
Triangles.
This thing right here.
Ah, okay.
This is called a Sri yantra.
Non-triangle.
Later on, you know it as the Mandela in Tibet. You know the Mandela in Tibet. Now, let me give you some example. This is where we get trapped. In Hemmitt and around the world, they call the Nagars in Asia, in India. They call the Uraeus crown in Hemmitt. You see the serpent all over the world. Now you got a bunch of new niggas come up like David Icke and a bunch of people telling you that they are physical reptilians, and that was a cloak. That was a whole government setup. Let me explain this shit to you. The reptilian people mean the people of the Uraeus crown, which means the people who have full access to the Kundalini energy. That's us. That's what it's talking about. Hell, even in science, they talk about a reptilian brain and all of this type of thing, which is talking about cerebral cortex. It's the people with the full access to the Kundalini energy inside of us. Now then you get, this shit started with Zachariah Sitchin. Zachariah Sitchin works for the Jews. The Jews in 1978 said, look, we realize now that the whole Egyptology and all this type of stuff is getting away from the branch of Hebrew that came out of Kemet, and now we must come in and we must not only did we try to carve out a history for ourselves with this, with Judaism, now we got to go into this metaphysical thing and we got to carve out another ancient metaphysical history. And they chose the main scholar, Zachariah Sitchin. And all of a sudden, what used to be the reptilian, which was talking about the Uraeus crown and the serpentine crown, which was the Kundalini race and the full access to the Kundalini race, all of a sudden start becoming physical reptilian beings.
Yeah, physical reptilian beings on the wall of Egypt.
They got ships on the wall of Egypt.
I didn't say, you all not getting this thing, what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm saying that is symbology.
We're gonna get it.
Okay, okay.
Do your thing.
You ain't telling me shit about Egypt, nigga. I studied Egypt for the last fucking 19 years.
Yeah,
On the walls, no walls. I tell you all the goddamn temples there. Temple of Como, Temple of Esna, Temple of Dendera, Temple of Karnak, Karwari.
So you just
Old news.
all those
I'm just trying to say here, I know all of the particular stuff like that. What I'm trying to tell you is this here. Yes, they have ships. Didn't I just show you the bark, the celestial bark with the ship?
No.
I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to tell you is this. It's symbology. See, this is it, what I'm trying to tell you. Now, you want to get into the magical aspect.
That's what we're
There's two, but just listen to me, because this is all important.
I agree.
See, if you want to be revealed information, you see what I'm saying? You can't flinch at what's coming to you, because there's a wall you got to break through.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? Forget what you know. Break on through to the other side by saying, no, just take what you got and set it to the side and just listen.
Going on.
Then you want to get to the other side I'm trying to show you, but
Go ahead, bro.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now,
Come on with it.
there's reptilian beings on the temple wall, but they don't mean they physical reptilian beings. They are symbology. Now, let me explain what I'm talking about. The neophyte comes up, and the neophyte comes up, and they are trained that everything is based on the apparent, literal. The priest will come up and go, Well, you was thinking it that way. That's the first level of this. But in so many words, it's esoteric, which means that these shits are not literal. They are components on the inside of the constitution of your physical body and on the inside of you. There's no difference between the ships and the damn chakras. Now here's a mantra. This is the damn spaceship. Right here. This is the supreme mantra. Before you get Mandalas in Tibet, you get the mantras or the yantras in Hindu. Right in the middle here you have what is called the Bindu seed. The Bindu seed is the pineal gland and the clitoris and the G-spot in the woman. You see what I'm saying? These are all esoteric terminology. They didn't have literal, no fucking literal reptilians, or you would see the literal reptilians now. It's they are symbology. They are symbols. Signs and symbols of primordial man. Albert Churchward. Myth and symbol of ancient Egypt. Runnels and Clark. And the neophyte thinks it is apparent, and that's how you get trapped. And that's why you can't break on through to the other side. Let me give you an example. In the book Sacred Science, E. Schwaller Lubitz, R.A. Schwaller de Lubitz, Sacred Science. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's a picture on the temple walls of, I think it's on the temple walls of Luxor, of the Battle of Kadesh. And all the white folks was coming. He's got a picture of whatever the Pharaoh is at this time. It's either Ramesses, the Ramesses covered over King Tut's material. So it's either King Tut in one age, it's Ramesses on down the line where he's in the chariot and he's battling these people.
Right.
They was thinking that the Battle of Kadesh was a historical event.
Okay.
What Schwaller and Lewis did, by studying at Luxor Temple for 15 years, was they didn't look at the other panel. There's a Battle of Kadesh, and then in the middle of they got a Pharaoh, he's on in his chariot with the horses. And he's got the smiting scenes where he's smiting. Then they got a ripple like this on the wall, and they got a hole in the wall, and then they got some other people in a castle, and they're rejoicing. The people was thinking that this was virgins of civilization, and they didn't realize until Schwaller and Lewis understood, oh shit. The people in the hole in the wall, they ain't even talking about the physical earth. They was talking about another dimension and another realm. But the literal neophytes came in and they was reading it literal. Let me give you an example. See, you want to get to the other side. I got a lot to cover. That's how you got to learn. If you want to learn, I'm here to teach you, but you can't. There's a reason why there's a block and a standstill. You see what I'm saying? There's a reason why there's a block and a standstill. It's because somebody is reading the shit the wrong way, and they're reading it to teach it to a layman on a literal level. So what you thinking is reptilians on the temple walls is nothing but showing the energy of the Uraeus crown and the serpent energy on the inside of you, which is the Kundalini energy. You see what I'm saying? You see the same separs on the Kabbalah. It ain't up with the same wheels of life and the same ship, but they out there. I can show you these motherfuckers tonight. We got a clear sky. Goddamn it, we gonna see some ships tonight. But if you're looking for some physical tin can, you're not gonna see it.
Yeah, you had to back that one up. I'm gonna wait to see that.
And there's no big problem. Hell, I backed it up with 200 motherfucking people in Brooklyn, New York. I got the damn tape. I was at the slave theater. I said, we get out of here tonight, we're gonna see the ship. Now, I was in Brooklyn, New York. This was 2 years after I started. Had I not produced that goddamn ship, I wouldn't have been able to lecture no more.
We want to see the ship.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? I wouldn't have,
I got the video camera.
I wouldn't have been able to lecture no more. But I got another film when I was in Harlem the next night, and everybody was being witness. You see, it's just out there. You just don't know what you're looking at. You just got to know how to spot them. And once you know how to spot them, you see them all the time. You see what I'm saying? Now, the point I'm trying to make here is, it's just like Faulkner. When they started dealing with Hemmitt, the first thing the people said was, the Egyptians didn't know their religion. This is the arrogance of the Germans. You see what I'm saying? This guy, Adolf Ehrman, the arrogance. It was Faulkner that came around after years and said, hey, look. Because what they were seeing contradictions in the text. They were seeing shit that, nature that didn't make no sense. They were seeing stuff that is straight out wrong. And Adolf Ehrman said, oh, I get it now. They was purposely building in mistakes inside of the religion because that's how nature is. Anything that is smoothed off and is repetitiously the same is artificial. They was looking at the patterns in the chaos. And they know that there's no blade of grass that grows the same way. So when you go to Rome and Greece, you will see the columns, they're all even. But when you come to some parts in Kemet, they got columns like this, and columns like that. They said, what kind of crazy people is these? No, these people was copying the lotus that grow out of the marshes of the swamps. And none of them grow the same size. You see what I'm saying? No. So the concept here is, you're talking about magic. The first concept of magic here is, never think on the apparent. It's not literal. You see what I'm saying? It's not literal. Now, I done did every damn ritual known to fucking man. And I done had every damn thing show up. But ain't no bug-eyed green people from no other motherfucking planet showing up. So you say, well, wait a minute. We see the planets out there. How you can say they're not real? Well, you see the trees out there. You see the mountains out there. You see the river in the ocean. And based on the Matrix, they ain't real either. They're Maya and illusion with the same thing with that universe out there. It's one holographic universe, which is universe A, which is called the petty universe. Universe B is called the real universe that we have been separated from in this thing called creation. You see, creation is a botched job by a subordinate deity that broke away from the Great Mother. Now in the Dogon, they call it Alma, which is, Alma is actually a feminine principle. It's just a matter of the culture, because they were breaking it from Amun Ra, as Diop says. But the Dogon culture, they talk about Ogu broke away, and Ogu was halfway formed in his mother's womb before he tore out the side. Well, in the Gnostic scripture still coming out of Kemet, Pharaonic thought, is this entity, Adaldabrath, broke away from his mother before he was formed and went and set up a universe of his own, but because he wasn't formed all the way, he botched the job. So creation is a botched job that is not really finished yet. Because the spirits had to come in, incarnate into creation, and further it on down the way until it gets to the point where it's finished. So they had to take a botched job, go in through the stream of incarnations until they alchemically got to the right level to destroy this shit. You see what I'm saying? To destroy it. But it ain't coming from some beings out. That's why they ain't showed up. Because they ain't going to show up. Guess why they ain't going to show up? Because they showed up a couple of millions of years ago, and you the motherfucker sitting in the room. You the goddamn alien.
Yeah.
If you don't understand this shit here, you're wasting your damn time.
And that's the reason why you say as time go on, things change, and it's coming to the point of where we're coming at now.
Did you see the movie X-Men, the first one?
Yeah.
They tell you all of it on the first movie. They said it is talking about a series of mutations till you can get to a mutation. Now, they talking about us. They say that this process is slow till we bring on a new species. This process is slow. We the only people that have been around long enough to transmutate into a new species. On the DNA inside of us, which you see the staff of Tahuti, with the wings of the Medical Association, the staff of Tahuti. On the DNA and the same caduceus is the same fucking damn mitochondrial DNA inside of us. On that DNA inside of us, if you know anything about melanin and alchemy, melanin is a series of amino acids. And they study the amino acids in us every day. And they know that our amino acids is changing. So this whole shit, it was put out by a fucking Zachariah Sitchin about the 12 DNA strand. We follow that old white man shit. That's for white folks in the barotheric gland. The barotheric gland is nothing but the fucking pineal gland. See, they got to play on words. They know that they're DNA. They know they're not the people. You understand what I'm saying? So they would rather make a goddamn excuse about this barotheric gland that these aliens took out of us is why we couldn't rise. The barotheric gland is nothing but the pineal gland. And they're talking about them. And the aliens they're talking about is us because we created them. You see what I'm saying? So in so many words, the reptilians, now let me go back to this thing so you be sure on this, because it's a government plot. And see, as you think, it's going to be the way you're going to have to unlock these gates. Now you can play all you want to, I'm just trying to say, look, let me explain something to you. Now I don't know everybody, most of y'all are New Wabians. There's nothing wrong with that. He came down to introduce you to some information, to get you to a certain point, so you can go out on your own and become gods on your own. And there's a group of people that was in there that can't go beyond that, but that's all right. They couldn't go beyond it in the first place. There was a group of people, every group out here got a certain amount of gods, and they got a certain amount of people that has to belong to the group. Even in the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad said, we got scientists up in here, and I don't want no more believers. It's right in the damn theology of time. That's when he really started talking this shit. He said, I want gods. But there's a certain group of people that they can only take things face value, and they got to wait on Dr. York. Dr. York, I've even heard from one of the sisters that Dr. York even told the motherfuckers, God damn it, I'm waiting on y'all.
Right.
He said this shit.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real.
In some of the things, I'm waiting on y'all. Y'all supposed to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
He was giving the people the things because he understood, okay, that was the group. And that's by way you came, I'm just saying though, that's by way you came by. Well, why are you here? If it's just a group. You go to Dr. York and tell Dr. York to teach you something.
Big brother.
No, I'm just trying to say, my point here is this. No, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Because that's exactly what I'm going to tell you, because the part of the first thing I'm going to tell you when I get into this thing in a few minutes is, in order for you to get to the other level, you got to renounce calling yourself anything down here related to a goddamn group.
Thank you.
Because you will be on the groups.
I agree with
And
that.
I'm going to tell you how the alchemical shit inside of your body lines up. Remember I told you before, if you say, I want to be a sinner, then the alchemical process inside of you lines up that way. Because ye are gods, and whatever you want to do, you got to do.
You're going to substitute too.
You're going to do it. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is this here. The man already done told you. Did he ever tell you in his teaching to shoot the gods? All the time. All right then. Then end the story. Now what we're talking about here is the level of the gods. You understand what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to say here is this thing here. Here's my ass. You got to come out of the groups. Because I'm trying to tell you, this stuff you don't line up based on groups on the mundane level. That's a part of your training.
I can feel that.
That's a part of your training. I was a part of one of Dr. Ben's groups. I was one of his mystery systems. And that was good. I needed that at the time to learn a certain amount of Hemmitt history and stuff like that, but I realized, hey, look, that's not the end all, the be all.
Thank you.
Now, so there ain't nothing wrong with that. How can you come before something unless you join something at first? So that's what I'm trying to say, but the point I'm trying to make here is this here. When you go, they call it path working. That's when you rising up the system of spirituality. And the path is your own journey.
Right.
The initiate has to go on its own journey. And you can't take nothing with you. Remember in Star Wars, the motherfucker told him, he said, what's in that cave? He said, only what you take with you. See what I'm saying? Only what you take with you. I'm not saying that the man's stuff is wrong. All I'm trying to tell you is you at a level now that you got to make the decision. You at the goddamn crossroads. And the crossroads is, are you ready to go to the next level? Because guess what? I can't take you to the next level. You got to make that decision. Remember? In the Matrix, when they was in the dojo, and they was fighting, and the guy said, your problem is not in your technique. Why didn't you beat me? Why did I beat you? The problem is in here. So now, you see what I'm saying? You can't be no New Wabian. You can't be no Nation of Islam. You can't be none of that stuff. You got to be straight up chaos. Because you can't name it a name. When you name it a name, it dies.
Right,
Melanin inside of you, every time the white boy extracts it, it dies. Melanin never stops moving. And chaos is what melanin is chaos in the blood. Told you that in the movie Phantoms. He said chaos, plain and simple. The rules of chaos, get the book, Condensed Chaos by Phil Hines. Condensed Chaos by Phil Hines. In the book, the first rule of chaos is change is supreme. And if you're not willing to change, then you die.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? Or you just stay at the same level.
There you go.
And you want to go to the next level, you just stay at the next level. Because change is supreme. And I'm going to tell you, at this particular time, you can't let nothing define you. You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
You can't let nothing define you. What's that?
The author of that book.
Phil Hines. Phil Hines. H-I-N-E. Condensed Chaos. Then he got one called Prime Chaos. Talking about chaos magic. What is chaos magic? Chaos magic is, the white boy looked back and said, look at these silly niggas. One over here calling himself Yoruba, one over calling himself Igbo, one of them calling himself Egyptian, one of them calling himself Al-Hausa. These assholes don't know that every tradition is just a fragment of itself because it's thousands of years old. And although those traditions was complete 2,000-3,000 years ago, they're only fragments. He said, now look, I'm ruling this motherfucker now.
That's right.
And this is what I'm going to do. I'll show you how the white boys do. They say, since we didn't create none of that shit, we'll let them become divided in these traditions and in these groups. And what we're going to do, we're going to use all of it. And that's what they call chaos magic.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I want to add with that. I was at a conference yesterday with some quote-unquote Hebrew Israelites. And at the end of the conference, I made a statement. I put some books down on for just 5 different sheets of paper. I said, the reason why we can't come together as a people all together or just in a whole, the government has, each one of us has a organization
That's right.
set up under EIN numbers, making it a non-profit organization.
That's right.
We would never come together because as long as we're separated, who gonna come together, put all this stuff in?
Man, not only that, let me tell you something. All you got to do is take your ass to, I don't know if you know it, but become a prison guard.
I have been.
You become a prison guard, and one of the things they give you is a sheet of paper showing you all the different religions and the different groups in there. You got to learn all that shit.
That's right.
They already know, and the government feed that system.
That's right.
Because they know as long as you separate it, and as long as you don't accept all of it, especially the goddamn dark side.
That's right. Exactly.
Now, I'm the foremost scholar on the fucking devil and Satan. You understand what I'm saying? And that is us.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what the crackers say. Them niggas, they don't even know their true self. You used to call yourself Osiris, and you don't get into the fucking dark arts. It's the underworld shit. Black magic itself is the black man's magic. You see what I mean? And they don't make no shit that I'm scared of, and I done been through all of it. You see what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make here is, they call it chaos magic. They've been dealing with this shit since the 70s. Our shit. But it's just like the Egyptians were saying when they was building in mistakes. White boy Thomas Dolby did Blinded Me with Science. Remember that movie? Remember the song Blinded by Science?
Right.
This white boy, they said, damn, this shit is awesome, man. They say, what make this song so popular? So he purposely built in mistakes in the side of the damn synthesizer, so when it come up, you see, that's the anomaly. Well, guess what? That's what jazz is. Even jazz. When the crackers wrote it down, jazz died. Now, you see, look, it's the same thing. You want to take the tradition with you. Duke Ellington was in Central Park. Greatest master ever lived, composer. Was in Central Park. He said, I ain't got time to go to fucking school.
Same here.
He said, I don't have time. He said, I don't have time to go to school and learn this shit at conservatory. The guy said, you're going to need some classical training. He said, I ain't got time for that.
Right.
The guy told him, well, I don't know who the guy was in the car. He said, well, take everything that you have learned and everything you think them schools are teaching you and throw that shit out the window and just go from the heart.
There you go.
And as a result, why is it you got to go to school to learn Duke Ellington now? Here it is, the black man can create this shit, and then the white man can come and tell you, you got to have a degree to learn jazz. We talking chaos.
Right.
Jazz is chaos. Everything, look, the white boys in the blues and jazz. Now that's because we abandoned it. Because chaos has to change. And so the white boy only mastered it after we abandoned it so he could slow it down, write it down, and synthesize it. You understand what I'm saying? And become proficient at it. But it's dead music. People don't understand this before you could even... Eminem came out, what, the end of 97? Before Eminem came out, has become the king of rap now by 2000. See, that's what they call him, this white boy. And to let you know they call him this white boy the king of rap, they gave him an Academy Award. They ain't got two black people that's got Academy Awards for music. Isaac Hayes for Shaft and Quincy Jones.
Right.
But Eminem, a newcomer, got a doggone Academy Award for that fucking movie. But rap was already in for damn near 17 years before they could even master it.
Right.
It came out in 79.
Right.
The point I'm trying to make here is, we talking chaos here. And you got to come out of traditions.
Right.
You got to come out of the traditions. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to knock your school or knock the people you're in. What I'm trying to say to you, that was all fine the way it was. You see what I'm saying? He did a good job, commendable. You understand what I'm saying? But the point about that here is, if he said, you all are supposed to become gods, now it's time to y'all to become gods. So what the fuck you talking about what you did in the past?
Come on, let's do it. Let's go into the lecture. Let's do it.
No, I'm just saying, you got to understand these things. You can't let the limitations. This is not to compare. It's just like one of the brothers back in, what you call it, when we was going to see Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark, he was sitting up there always mad because he was on Elijah Muhammad. And I told him, I said, look, the messenger of Elijah Muhammad did a certain work that stands on its own. It don't have to be compared to something else. It stands on its own. That's the problem. We compare shit too much. And trying to see whether your teacher was right. It doesn't matter. It's only, well, did you get what he was trying to tell you and what did you get out of it?
Right.
He only could take you to the bridge. What it was is this here, in any group, there's a certain amount of scientists and there's a certain amount of followers. And some of the people that come up out of there, the scientists, and some of the people that follow. That's the way any kind of group, otherwise you wouldn't be able to group to exist.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from here? But the point I'm trying to make here is, you got to become gods. And in this particular case, I'm going to tell you something. There can't be no limitations on your thought. You see what I'm saying? On your thought. You got to check shit out. Now, the reptilians that they're talking about, if you don't get this motif, you might as well go home now, because it's all talking about the Kundalini energy. The next thing here is this here. That Kundalini energy is a feminine energy. You see. Now, I'm going to go into some things right now, and it's going to end up a certain place. Y'all all right?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Y'all all right?
Yeah.
You see. But we talk, this is different now. You see, this is different now. That's why I never started a group. I put out the information and I keep moving.
There you go.
You see, I keep moving. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to say, it's different now. We now have the ability, at this particular time, to shape our own destiny. You see what I'm saying? To shape our own destiny. And so that's what the deal is. So let's go into this thing. First of all, for you all to become on the higher level, you shouldn't start no groups. And what I mean here is, this is pertinent. This is chaos realm. This is how the gods, it's like Bruce Lee said, you got to be like water, my friend. Water don't have no standards. You see what I'm saying? There's no methodology to water. When you box it in, it'll find a little crack. Even the goddamn Hoover Dam is only built to last, what, about 150 years. And that bitch is coming down. They ain't built nothing that can hold back water. But it can be the softest thing. Babies are born out of it. You see what I'm saying? But it can be Devastating. How you hell they think what the hardest thing is a fucking mountain and a water down, way down a mountain. Bust a fucking pipe. But water is the physical manifestation of chaos. It never stops moving. And what happens when water stops moving? It dies. It becomes stagnant and it dies, and then what happens? It evaporates. Yeah. It evaporates. You see what I'm saying? So the concept here, when you're dealing with the gods, you see what I'm saying? Because let me explain where this is going so you understand how this works, how this magical universe works. It all works based on your heart chakra. That's what this Sri Yantra is. The supreme chakra is the heart chakra. There's a little dot in the middle. There's a little dot in the middle of the Sri Yantra. Inside of your heart chakra. What they're not telling you is this. There's a book. There was one put out. The woman put out the book when God was a woman. Yeah. She mentioned something in the book. She's the only one honest to mention it. Because all the other people that was into the Egyptology thing was males. And they flinched at what they saw. So they couldn't bear to mention it. Wasn't until another book came out. It was a book called Egyptian Mythology by Geraldine Pinch. And in there, because it's another woman, she was honest, and she mentioned what she saw in them texts. And what she saw in those texts was Osiris was worshipped as a god that was slain, the god of the underworld. You see what I'm saying? They gave all the characteristics. And the other thing, he was worshipped as a mother goddess. That's the part that the other Egyptologists couldn't put up in there. We're going higher up into this mystery shit. Osiris is also represented as the god, as the sign of Venus. The other representation of the sign of Venus is the goddess Het Heru. Het Heru is a cow goddess. That's where you get your golden calf in the Bible. Osiris is called a bull. Why is it that Osiris is represented by Venus and Het Heru? Because Osiris is nothing but the masculine side of Het Heru. Osiris and Het Heru is the same. Now, in the heart chakra, this has all got to do with magic. You want the gateways open for you. In your heart chakra, the reason why most people can't get it out here because this knowledge resonates on the root chakra. So when it resonates on the root chakra, the root chakra can only give them things that is mundane, societal, and what society says is reality. That's because they're on that level of ride, because the soul is still asleep. You don't even become awakened. The reason why you in here is because everybody in here is vibrating at a certain level of the heart chakra. The heart chakra. And that's the reason why you are here now trying to get this particular information. You understand where I'm coming from here? Of the heart chakra. The key here is that heart chakra. In that heart chakra, there's an intelligence. And that intelligence, that you call, that intelligence decide on whether you go on up to the pineal area or whether you stay resonating. So you have been, so the first thing here is you're already awakened to the point that you're not like everybody else out here that's dead. They say you stay 80, 95, 85%. No, this motherfucker is like 0 point something. There's only like 2 or 3. Shit. It's like 0 point something amount of people that's awake. And the reason why you're awake because you're resonating at a certain part of the heart chakra. Then the other part is once you get there, you got to go to the crossroads. Now that means you can decide to just stay at that level and be satisfied with the knowledge you got and you understand that these niggas out here dead, you know, or you'll cross over and start living magically. The difference. And what makes you cross over is this. Inside of everybody's heart chakra is a woman that sits up in there. And she judges That's Osiris, but in so many words, that's this goddess Lakshmi. That's the Maya thing. There's a goddess that sits up in there, and she judges in your heart chakra on whether you get to the next level or not. So, and so what you have to do to get to the next level here is you have to neutralize all forms of the ego that suggest that you are somebody, that you exist. Only thing exists is your soul. And a series of events that get you to know what your soul is. And the rest of the shit is an illusion. That's why you can't take nothing with you to get to the next level. I just want to put that out there. We're going to go back to that particular part in so many words. Now, let me explain this thing and put this on tape so you understand. The Egyptian or the Canaanite level, most of those terms are generic terms now, which means the energy is chaos. So what used to be called Osiris back then, they put it on the temple walls as principles so you can learn the principles of Osiris. You understand what I'm saying? But it's chaos. It has to keep changing. So what you call Osiris is a generic term, which is a term for knowledge. But to invoke the Osar, you understand, to get the full mastery of that and stuff, you got to call on something else. Why? First of all, it's because it's trying to show you that knowledge is not geographical. This thing here, first of all, it was one planet, one landmass at first. You see what I'm saying? Before you had whatever, continental drift, or some cataclysmic thing to break it up into continents. You understand what I'm saying? So when the Native Americans, which was black people up in the Montauk Indians, say that we got that the first place where man stood up was Montauk, Long Island, they're telling the truth. When the Egyptians say it was at the god at the beginning of the Nile where the god Hapi dwelled, you see what I'm saying? They're telling the truth. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When the East Indians say Shambhala, they're telling the truth. They're all telling the truth because it was all one landmass and one people. And you can't conceptualize it based on geographical location. It's one landmass and one planet. You understand where I'm coming from here? Now, in this particular aspect, those terminologies, so what happens is this with these things. They're intelligence, they're formulas, but they're living entities. And they all exist, we're talking about the spirit world, based on when you invoke them. Well, after the Arab invasion, which was the last level of Hemmitt, the group of people, the Egyptian priests, went out as the Moors. Some people say, I can't understand that. How could the Moors be Islamic, but be Egyptian, and give all that Egyptian and all that stuff to Europe? But it was Islamic. We don't understand the mind of an ancient person. The ancient person could go into a system, because they're masters. They could go up into Islam like you go into the Democratic Party, or like you go into the Republican Party. They could go up in a system and use it politically to advance their cause. So you know you're a black person, you might live in West Atlanta, you might eat hog maws and chitlins or whatever, but you might be a Democrat. You understand what I'm saying? But that's your party. You understand what I'm saying? These people were masters. They weren't into religion, but they could understand that Islam at that particular time, based on the Arabs being the foot soldiers, and based on some other thing, it was a force that they could couch the Kemetic system in and take it up into Europe. Some people say, well, why did they take it up into Europe? Well, the black man all over the planet became dead. And when we came out of our sleep, if the white man didn't gain a certain amount of knowledge, you understand what I'm saying? We wouldn't have access to our particular materials. So they made the white boy the custodian of certain material so we can gain access to it when we wake up. So it's like a whole umbrella of shit that's looking at this shit on the spirit realm and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's like pawns in the game. It's like a chess game. You see what I'm saying? So now they advanced this thing into, the Moors advanced this stuff into to Europe so that we could get it on the other side when we come out of slavery and come out of the whole thing. Because they did know that slavery was going on. We got text on that. Now, the other thing here is, other than that Arab invasion, there was a time when the Egyptian system was dead. It wasn't even called on in worship for over 1,000 years. Hell, they had to retranslate Meta because the Arabs sat on it for 1,000 years under Islam and didn't even know what the hell he had. You see what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make here is those entities, whenever a system dies, they have to go to other systems where the practitioners are still using the energy. You see what I'm saying? So, a lot of it went, so two streams of the energy. One went to East India, because the East Indians were the pre-dynastic Egyptians, the Kushites, that went on up into what they call Indus Kush or Hindu Kush. The Dravidians. The untouchables of the Dravidians. So, and no matter what the pantheon, because what they call the Aryans, first of all, the original Aryans were black people. That's the first thing. There wasn't no white folks around at the time when they had this one. All of that Hindu was nothing but just Dravidian, because we can trace all of the deities that the Dravidians had also. So the system was already set. It's Kushite, pre-dynastic Egyptian. The other systems also went on into West Africa. So we got two streams of where the energy went. Now, the mistress of Osiris is the mistress of the underworld. And the underworld is the deepest realm of the subconscious mind, which is the most advanced level. So a mentor is the deepest realm of the subconscious mind. The underworld is the inner world.
I understand.
Okay. The other ones went on into West Africa, became your Yoruba, your Dogon, and Igbo houses, Bambara, and all of these types. And over the years, a lot of those became more and more deteriorated. And the ones that left in the traditional things, the biggest one you have is the Yoruba and the Voodoo coming out of their homie, which later on, we can even say that their homie is where you even get the origins of the Yoruba. But in so many words, what happened with the Yoruba was they completely obliterated or got rid of their underworld. They got rid of the underworld deities, which is going to represent, on a psychological level, the subconscious mind. The Voodoo is mixed with the underworld, but they have what is called a demiurge figures on top of them. And those are the Orishas aspect of Legba, Batala, Ogun, and Shango, mainly the four male deities that's on top of them. But Ogun's job is to hold down Kumbanda. We're tracing this Osirian shit to where it still emerges. You see what I'm saying? Untouched from ancient world. Yeah, we came in and we re-picked it up. And yes, we learned a lot of the things, and a lot of the groups learned a lot of things, but they learned the things, but those are the principles. We had to reintegrate the principles. You see what I'm saying? Reintegrate the principles, and that's where the whole research of the Egyptology and the whole thing came up, which encapsulate the black conscious movement and everybody else. You understand where I'm coming from? Now, so we integrated the principle, but when we're talking about the stream of energy, where's that Osirian energy that was untouched? Okay, yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
Based on, a lot of this stuff is not going to come based on what you see is what you perceive this magic to be. A lot of this shit is a mindset. I said living magically. I'll explain where I'm coming from here. Because I already know that most of them spells and shit, them motherfuckers don't work. They only gonna work now unless you do one thing. But you got to simplify it And you got to become very humble, not to me. Not to me. If you say you overstand, first of all, the word is understand for a reason. But that's some black terminology that just popped up. And a lot of Afrocentric conscious people use it. Understand means you go into the underworld, because that's where the true shit is. These terminologies didn't come from you. These terminologies came out of the mystery system. That's why they said understand. Because it was based on the underworld or the inner world. You see what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make here is, you're going to miss the point. Let me explain something to you, what I mean by that. Got to understand the real key. You see me curse a lot. Motherfucker shit. That, this. See what I'm saying? Hell, I might fart up this motherfucker. Now, try to understand where I'm coming from here. Man tried to find God. He went for 300 years. The first 100 years he went down this road, couldn't find him. Second 100 years he couldn't find him. Then on the third level, he went down there, and halfway he said, God damn, I ain't been able to find God. But he remembered there was a prostitute on the side of the road. So each time he went, he only saw one person, which was a prostitute on the side of the road. He went up to the prostitute and said, can you tell me where to find God? And the prostitute said, I am God. He said, but you a prostitute? He said, no, that's what I am. The concept here is going to come in the simple. See, the whole thing is initiation. You got to listen to what I'm saying and allow yourself to process it. And now you're here waiting for me to give you some real, spells and anything. There ain't, none of that shit works. But I'm going to give you the stuff of how the shit is, because I'm in it, goddammit. I'm in the motherfucker. That's the difference. I'm in it. And there's a gateway that you got to be let in, but you're not going to get let in that gateway if you think you know. Never say you damn know shit. I thought 10 years ago I knew goddamn everything, and I was lecturing. And what I know now compared to what I knew just 5 years ago is sublime. So this whole thing about knowing is unfolding, but not only that, it's chaos. It's chaos. You can't track it based on a methodology. It keeps you. The whole concept is what you got to do in order to understand this shit. Is you got to let go and annihilate yourself. Anybody know anything about martial arts? You seen enough of them karate movies. The best student get his ass kicked the whole movie. He's the top student. And he get his ass kicked the whole movie with a motherfucker out there and don't understand for the simple fact he's still thinking about the methodology. He don't understand. He has to die. You gotta let go. You understand what I'm saying? Let me explain. You say, what is this talking about? Look, you have an ego that wants to survive. So what it will do is it will take the knowledge that you thus learned and inflate itself in the ego. And you thinking that I know this. You kept saying layman's term and surface knowledge and stuff like that. You got to change your doggone thinking and stuff, man. Because I'm trying to tell you, man. Wait. Hey, man. It's not the methodology. That's why they had to trick the figures. Give you a story. I'm telling it to you. It's going to be on film. We're going to cover all this, but you got to understand this shit. Now, you want me to come, and I'm trying to tell you, but you can't just be happy with me, you see what I'm saying, telling you the shit you want to hear. You got to hear the shit, you got to listen to the shit you need to hear. Look, you got the Tarot deck, which is the book of Thoth coming out of Kemet. The only motherfucker that's able to use throughout the whole Tarot deck is the fool. Just like the damn drunken master in the Kung Fu movies. Right. Don't ever say you don't master a shit. See what I'm saying? Sometimes me and this sister right, that sister back there is more powerful than half the motherfuckers in Atlanta. And sometimes we eat ice cream and cake traced down with fucking Pepsi Cola. The damn fool in the Tarot deck is the only one that can be used throughout the Tarot deck. Because as long as you innocent, there's a possibility of you learning something new and getting to the next level. You see what I'm saying? Don't look at the appearance on how I can come and just break down all it, because that shit ain't going to work. You're in another zone now. I'm going to explain it. There's a whole other realm now, especially the last year. Especially since that new tsunami hit. There's another zone now. There's another energy in there.
That's true.
Now just listen to me. Parzival in the Arthurian mythology, Parzival is a person, he saw the knights with the shining armor, but he was a country boy. His father was a knight that got killed. Now mama took him and raised, it's the Horace story. Now mama took him and raised him in the forest. So when he saw the knights in the shining armor came, he thought it was God. He came back and said, Mama, somebody told, I thought I saw God. They told me they were knights. I don't want to be a knight. She said, oh shit, that's what the fucking father got killed. This is the Harley's Hey Roo story. So I want to be a knight. So what she did was she knew she wasn't going to be able to stop him because he was coming of age. I think he was coming 18. So she sold him up a court jester's outfit. He said, this is going to be your knight outfit. Hoping that when he go to King Arthur's court, the knights would see him, they would laugh his ass out of it, and he wouldn't want to be nothing but a knight. Would never want nothing to do with a knight. So when he got there, they started laughing at him, at his outfit, and immediately it got him face to face with King Arthur, which normally wouldn't happen. And as a result, the story goes, he become a knight because there was other knights that was around him, and they were the brave knights. They had already been knighted. And they were the greatest knights. But because they were the greatest knights, they had mastered a degree of the sublime information. So that means that they were stuck in a house. Because they became a master, you understand what I'm saying? It locked them into a realm that they couldn't go beyond. Because Parzival was the young Horace and he was the fool. And he didn't master the shit. He didn't become a specialized because his knowledge is infinite. He was able to go on as the fool and get the grail. Remember in the movie The Matrix, they want to say this has never been done before. And he turned around and said, that's exactly why it's going to work. You understand what I'm saying? That's exactly why it's going to work. We talking, look, I pulled these libations. I'm not coming to you as Bob, I'm coming to you as spirit. Trust me when I tell you, you can't get to the other side, you understand what I'm saying, with any preconceived notions. You got to break down all of that. There's a certain level, you see what I'm saying, that you learn to a certain level. You got to break that particular down, and then you got to be like water. You see what I'm saying? So the court gesture is the master. You see what I'm saying? So there ain't no surface fucking knowledge. I'll tell you right now, you don't know. You have no idea. You have no fucking idea. I'll tell you this to your face. Because if you did, well then goddamn it, tell me something right now that's profound. I'm giving you the chance. Give me some knowledge and some information that's profound, that's going to unlock these people up in here.
Nothing you said is new to most of the people in here.
Wait a minute. Give me some knowledge and information. You know, well then give me, okay, in that case, then give me something. Give me something. Since you on the fucking level, because there ain't none of this shit new. Because you're joking yourself. Since you're on the damn level, then give me something profound right now.
The fact that you said you wanted to be a master, and then you claimed yourself to be a master.
You know, no. You said no, I didn't know. No, I said no. I was talking about a master of a certain thing that I was talking about.
Right,
but,
on a level.
But, everything I gave you, I was honest enough to give you bibliography, material, and also, I was honest enough to tell you the sublime truth. I didn't sit back and just tell you some stuff, what you want to know. I'm telling you the stuff that you need to know. You see what I'm saying? I'm still telling you. If you're at a certain level, then teach us something right now. You see what I'm saying? On the science level, on the knowledge of the thing that's going to get us to the other realm. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Going back to this thing here, you got to understand this. Going into the science. You are no longer, you are not subordinate to even the deities. The deities are somewhat into you. One of the keys to tread this thing to go to the next level is this. You must go to the middle pillar. Now the middle pillar is this. If you take one extreme, we're going to go into the whole thing. You can take one extreme, and here's another extreme. And if you take one extreme, and you go from one extreme to the other extreme to get away from the original extreme you came from, what you have done is made a complete circle in actuality, and you are just as bad as the extreme that you came from. In order to tread, you see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So you got to stand, if you see the Kabbalah or the Staff of Tahuti, you see what I'm saying? They got several aspects of it, or Excalibur sword, same thing. It's one bar, but it's the middle pillar. It's the middle pillar. Now, the middle pillar here means, and that's your whole scales of Maya, the balancing thing, that's Athena in Greece. You know, that's Maya with 8 arms in East India, which is the energy. With the extreme, you balance it off. So what happens here is, in this particular science, you got to stay to the middle pillar in the particular aspect of, when I'm dealing with the spirits, they never come up and say, you shouldn't drink that liquor. You shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do that. They know its balances. They know that for you to go totally one way or one other system, you're basically locking this thing down. So the chaos that we're talking about, you got to go to the middle pillar. You got to go to the middle pillar. Now, in the particular part of the magic, going back, because we're going to show you where the stream of the energy went. Okay, the ancient Kamite system is the principles and the generic term that you learn about the system. It would be more the intellectual side. But when you're talking about the stream of magic or the stream of energy, the most powerful one is not in the day side. Now, let's sort of explain what the day side is. The day side energies are the gods that consist of the creation. Our world is built on several other primal worlds that existed about the same amount of time. Our creation has been existed. So, let's just give a rough thing. Since the white boy came up with a good number back in 1998, he said 14 billion years. Let's just say, he said 14 billion years is creation. Since we can't count that long, we just use that number. Whatever number this particular creation has been into, we had primal worlds that existed prior to this particular creation. Our world is built on several other primal worlds that existed about as long, about as long as this creation has been in existence. This particular creation that we're talking about now is old. It's petering out. It's dissipating. That was the light side, dealing with that particular sun out there, which is a hologram, because when you go outside of the atmosphere, it's black out there. It's only sun relevant to the inside of the electromagnetic force field of the earth. You can't see your hand out there. Even the woman, Mae Jameson, the sister that went up back here, was it early 90s or late 80s? She said, you can't see your fucking hand out there. But you don't even see that sun. You see bigger suns, like the star Sirius. So that means that we're talking about a hologram or a day side, which is dissipating. It's the realm of illusion, the realm of Maya. is dissipating. The night side, meanwhile, has been dormant. That's the world to come. That's called the dark side of the tree of life. You have the tree of life, which is the front side, which is 10 luminous emanations. That's the world of the appearances. The dark side is the world to come. Is the world to come. Now, as far as chasing the stream of energy, as far as the magical system, you have what is your Yoruba, they got rid of their dark side. They became more of a day side. And what happened was, in so many words, what happened was, they started using the rituals for everyday life. When the white boys started coming in, the priests had to go underground because they couldn't give up a certain amount of secrets. Because if they gave out a certain amount of secrets and stuff, they had to go underground. The white boy would have got this shit and would have been some trouble. So white boy later on did get some of the stuff, and they got all these rituals, but they can't understand how these rituals work. Meanwhile, the priest went underground, and then the priest died out. The remaining priests, the so-called underworld side of the dark side, when they lost the knowledge of the Osirian realm, they became, when they lost that particular knowledge, it became taboo to them. So as a result, they say, we don't mess with the dark side. Meanwhile, because it died out, the only dark side that was left in the West, in West Africa was Palo coming out of the Congo. Now, disregard that shit that the white boy talking about the Satanism. That's a made up shit that they put a bunch of our shit together and made that shit up. And it still fucks them up. But I done did the rituals on none of that shit and was mad. I was wishing some shit happened. So all the demonic, satanic shit that they talking about, that shit don't even exist. I done went through all that shit. All the deepest, darkest shit they got. And that shit, I was mad. And the spirit showed up and said, nigga, you can't get no effect from your own energy that's already inside of you. The only reason why they being affected by it is because they are being affected by your energy. And your energy is too powerful for them and alien to them. You see, you can't be affected by their energy. So in so many words, that all the stuff they talking about Satan, that shit don't even work. You see what I'm saying? That stuff don't even work. Now I'm gonna show you how you can tap into it in a few minutes on how you can tap into it. It's real simple because it's all based on what you do. Now, that means that the only one, okay, and so although your voodoo has a dark side to it, most of the practitioners, it's got a ceiling over it because, and let me explain what this is. First of all, there's 3 million white practitioners in Europe alone in the continental United States. That ain't including Santeria, which is a whole Latin world. These energies, I'm going to put this on the tape, were not made for mass worship, mass application, mass practitioner. The priesthoods in the ancient world were smaller in an initiate style, so they weren't made for being a religion. So Yoruba becomes a religion. Voodoo, they say, is somebody's religion. And so what happened was, and although the voodoo was taboo, but it become popular with the movies, white folks have come in and usurped it, and they got millions of them dealing with the Yoruba, the voodoo, and the Santeria. And as a result, those rituals don't work because they're being saturated. You see what I'm saying? It's just like any other kind of formula. You can saturate these particular formulas, and too many people dip into the pool, and it's saturating stuff like that. So you get minor aspects. Meanwhile, you go to every store, Barnes & Noble's border, you see just full of magical books. And there's tons and tons of magic books. It's because those spells and those rituals don't work. Why? Because they don't work because most of them was outmoded when they picked them up. And like when they picked them up, because those are systems that somewhere in the course of time, other than the West African and the East Indian, somewhere in the course of time, what has happened is the systems, the priesthoods stopped worshiping them, or the priesthoods stopped practicing them. And although they picked them up later, part of the center of energy had to go to the places that was the centers where they were still practicing. You understand how this goes? So those things are just defunct. We'll show you how to activate them in a few minutes. There's always a comeback. So those centers are defunct. The next aspect of it is the Palo Manombe ended up being your dark side, which too many people were scared of, and then the government, knowing what it was, they made it taboo. They made sure that hardly no material on the planet got on this. So a few little things on the internet now, and the only book that came out of Manombe in 1984 is a particular one here that we're going to give to the people, and the brother going to synthesize it. But it became your dark side stuff that existed from the Congo, Africa. And Osiris is found in here as El Cristo Negro. God, El Cristo Negro, the crucified black God. So there's two gods in here. There's two composites of the same entity. El Cristo Negro and El Cristo Rey. El Cristo Negro and El Cristo Rey. Two composites of the same energy. There's a big statue of El Cristo Rey in San Antonio, Texas. No, excuse me, in El Paso, Texas. The people make a pilgrimage down there every year from all over the world. That's Osiris Amun-Ra complex. You got Madre de la Luna, which is a form of Heru, because she has, sometimes you have the moon over there. You got Mama Shola goddess, that's Aset, because she's a goddess of fertility. So that's Aset that have the babies. See, you got to realize these three goddesses. You got your cosmic Isis, or Aset. You got your earthly Aset, and you got your future Aset. Your cosmic Aset is Heru, the star Sirius. Your earthly Aset is the Madonna and Child. She's the one that has the god Horus. That's every black woman. Then there's your future Aset, which is Maya, which is the transformation of what is called the Shakti power, or the Shakti energy. You see what I'm saying? Or the Shakti energy, which we're going to get into in a few minutes. But, so there's three aspects of the same energy. We talk about formulas. So you got Madre de Agra in the Palo, which is the mother of the waters. Madre de la Luna, mother of the moon, the lunar thing. La Santissima Muerte, she's the god that sets over witches. So she would be equivalent to a Sekhmet or Hecate in ancient Greece, which is black, Etruscans. Wasn't no white motherfuckers. Never was any white people went to the mystery schools. Never. La Santissima Muerte, and then you got Mama Shola, she's the goddess of fertility. You got San Simon, which is the god of divine justice. You got La Spiritus and Tranquillus, those are seven entangled spirits. That's the chakra system. You got La Santissima Piedra Eamon, which is a powerful entity over magic. Then there's El Cristo Rey, Lord of all the worlds, and El Cristo Negro. All things, and then you got Salabanda, which is the gateway. But all things must bow down to El Cristo Negro. The crucified black God ultimately is yourself. You set yourself up as El Cristo Negro. You see, it's ultimately yourself. Now, going back to the magic, you get any of these books. So let's say you go and buy any of these books. This is the mystery. This is the great mystery. Because it's chaos, and chaos is melanin, and we have the melanin in us, not your skin. Yes, the melanin in your skin is melanocytes. Melanocytes can degree based on whatever racial mixture, but it don't mean that the brother on the continent got more melanin than you. He just got more melanin in the melanocytes. The melanin that's on the inside of us is probably higher than the brother from the continent. Let me explain how that is. How that is. In voodoo, before it was saturated, in 1950-something, they said they had over 14 different African nations, or tribes, or what we call nations, to come together to make the voodoo that they put together in the Caribbean. By the time of Reginald Crawley's book, Voodoo Quantum Leap, which is one that's in this thing, and I think I put it in the book list. By the time of Reginald Crawley's book in 2000, they had already counted 25 different tribes or things, even on into the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia. You take the picture of voodoo and you see the different multiple makeups of the different tribes that go in to make this one religion, or this one system, especially one in Haiti. Thus, in the blood system of the black man in America, we are more African because the Africans, one of the problems was in the ancient world, they were broken up into certain nations or certain tribes. Whereas, and so when they took us out in slavery, when we went across the water, when we first went to the Caribbean, there was 2 bulk tribes. So you might have one that's this Igbo housing, you might have just 2 major tribes, because they dropped big settlements in the Caribbean and they couldn't contain them all. That's how they was able to free themselves at an earlier time. Whereas they learned from that by the time the American slavery came about, they brought smaller increments and they broke them all up with different things. So in us, whereas you go to the Caribbean, you might have 2 or different strains. In the ones in America, you got Igbo, Hausa, Dogon, Yoruba. You got all these different strands of ancient tribes on the inside of our blood system. Thus, what makes the Jews mad. Because based on the Kabbalistic system, they understood that there was supposed to be a futuristic great mixing bowl in the West. The Shekinah, which is the feminine face of God, which is Maya, she's called Shakti in India, she's called Maya in Egypt, she's called Shekinah in Hebrew. You see, the return of the feminine energy, the Shekinah is supposed to be the great mixing bowl in the West. It's a makeup of the different, they call it tribes of Israel, it's the tribes of Africa. Because Israel is this, it just means black people. It's the Trinity. So it's Egypt and Africa. So the tribes of Israel and the tribes of Africa comes together in the Shekinah, or what is called the finished product of the smooth ashlar in masonry, which is the philosopher's stone in the alchemical thing, which ultimately means the pineal gland. It is the smooth ashlar, which represents the cornerstone that the builders rejected. The stone that the builders rejected will become the cornerstone. It's the foundation, it's the fountainhead, which means we have all these particular African tribes, plus some shit outside of Africa, including the white boy, in our veins to make what is called the alien strain. All that bullshit they talking out here, they stealing your birthright by giving you some green motherfuckers, and the whole time they talking about you. When they say reptilian, they're just talking about the ones who have full access to the Kundalini energy, which is black people. This is some shit that was contrived based on Zachariah Sitchin and later on David Icke. And it's some shit that was put out by the Illuminati to keep you from your birthright. You are the damn reptilians, which means the ones with the Uraeus crown, which means the full access to the Kundalini energy. That's what the reptilian is. The serpent people, called the Nagars in Asia, the Uraeus in India. They got different names. Or the Djeti, the Djet pillar, which is the serpent pillar. There's a book called The Return of the Ancient Serpent. What's that guy name? Mark Amaru Pinkham. Return of the Ancient Serpent of Wisdom. But all that shit there, if you take it literal, the government say, these niggas don't know. It's the ones with the complete Kundalini energy. Everything down here has a spirit, not everything has a soul. It's a difference. Spirit means everything that moves on the face of the earth. A roach has a spirit, a rat that has a spirit. Anima But everything doesn't have a soul. A soul is a sun, S-U-N-S-O-N. It existed in the beginning of creation. So those particular souls are the ones that have the original, most supreme access to the Kundalini energy. You see what I'm saying? And that's the reptilian that they're talking about. So you get these terminologies, you're talking against yourself. It's just like a Satan, just like the word devil. The word devil comes from the word diabos, which means double, doppelganger. Your double is your other self, your other half. In India, you got Krishna, who is the God of all the worlds. Krishna, Christ, same thing. But he had a brother named Balarama, the dark god that was never born. This is mythology, that's explaining what it means scientifically. He got a brother that was born, that was died at birth, that was never born, but is with him at all the time. In Hemmitt, you got the Typhonian. There's several forms of Typhonian Horus, Heru, with one called Khonsu. It's a moon god, but it's a Typhonian form of, which is pre-dynastic form of Heru. In the Typhonian one, Khonsu has a brother that was never born. And it's like a shadow or a shade that follows him through life. Now, metaphysically, what this means, the shadow and the shade is melanin. It's the substance that's on the inside of you. It's the ka that is given off by the ba, your soul. These dual entities that follows you in this particular one. That melanin that they talk about is the double diabos devil, doppelganger. So you get the word Sut, pre-dynastic god of all gods, Sut. Later on becomes Set. Later on degraded as the enemy in the dynastic period. Pre-dynastic god is Set Typhon or Sut. Sut means blackness. No other god exists beyond Sut. And his mother, Akhet, Tyre, the hippopotamus goddess. Sut. Sut has a dog face. The attributes of pre-dynastic Set, was the primordial god of all time, became the attributes of Osiris. Sut was the god of the perfect black. Osiris becomes the black, but perfect black. Sut had a dog face. The dog face was a dog, a black dog with gold ears. Sut becomes Anubis. That's where you get the word Sut on, Shut on Satan. Sat, Saturn, on Anubis. Anpu, Ani, Anubis. These are terminologies that's degraded later on to keep you away from, because you're scared of some spook shit out here. And all it means, Satan simply just means melanin.
Yeah, black. Yeah.
The triple blackness of space, of melanin. You see, so you say you know alchemy too? Are you telling me you know alchemy? Because you said there's some shit you know. I just want to know, do you know alchemy? I'll put your motherfucking ass to the test. You need to drop on me with alchemy.
It's not. Alchemy is a science of blackness. The same black magic in which you're speaking, which is not new to 90% of the niggas in this room.
I know you to break down some fucking alchemy. I'm not talking about a basic.
I'm keeping it where you kept it.
I'm not talking about just a basic synonymous thing. You just repeated what I told you at the beginning of the lecture. I told you to break down the concept of alchemy.
Oh, I can break that down for you.
You know, I'm just saying, my point here is...
Can I break it down, though?
No, I'm just trying to say here, my point here is that particular royal art. You see what I'm saying? The particular royal art. The soot on melanin that they're talking about, the inner aspect, that is the Satan. That is the darkness. You see what I'm saying? That is the darkness. Soot on. Soot, Set, Anubis. Now, going back to the Typhonian region of what we're talking about here is, most of the systems out here, that's been wiped away. The one that is the last survival of the Typhonian realm in the aspect of the black magic that you're trying to deal with is Palo. Now, what you can do as far as all the other magical things, this is a good book called Hermetic Magic. Why I suggest this one by Stephen Edred Flowers, PhD. Hermetic Magic.
What's the author name again?
Stephen Flowers. Just put Stephen Flowers, Hermetic Magic. The reason why I suggest this one more than some of the other magical books is because this one is taken from the Evers Papyrus and is coming right out of Hemmitt as the magical text. There's a bigger book on this one here, but he did synthesize, so a lot of the books you're getting is other traditions that they done did some stuff in Europe and came up with some whatever stuff, but this particular one, Hermetic Magic, is one that's coming from the priesthood of Tahuti that was around during the time, you see what I'm saying? So, during the time of the ancient aspect, where all you got to do now, although the mystery of this particular thing died for the European and they can't tap into it, now this is the great mystery on how this shit works. You have melanin. You are the gods that has returned for the future. Because inside of your melanin, and melanin is called creative physics. It's always creating, it's change, it's cosmos, it's chaos. Because you are the chaos beings. All you got to do to reactivate this type of stuff that's lying in the shelves is, to give you an example, real simple. Let's say they have a thing up in here on, this is one of those on Osiris. See, theology of demonology. See, the word demon is the Christian version of the word called daemon, which is the Greek version, which is the Egyptian version is Amen, hidden substance. Amen, Damien, which means one's own genius. Demon. The demons.
He's involved in the God, right?
Huh? Well, not only with the demon, but the daemonic reality. The daemon is nothing but the particles of melanin. There's the ancient text called the Goetia. You know, Crawley got the illustrated Goetia. It's supposed to be these demons. Now there's 72 daemons, but there's supposed to be 72 archangels. But there's 72 children of Ptah. Now Ptah is just a pre-dynastic form of Osiris. Same person. Because you'll see Ptah, Osiris somewhere. You get the word Ptah, and then Osiris, and you get the word Pythagoras. That's Ptah and Osiris. You see. Pythagorean theory, Ptah, Osiris. Pythagoras is the Greek word for Ptah and Osiris, which means just the Osirian theorem. The Amian, or the Damien, which means hidden substance, there's 72 children of Ptah. There's 72 Goetias, which is supposed to be demons or Damians. You get to go. It's called Aleister Crowley Illustrated Goetia. Anybody seen the book? Aleister Crowley's Illustrated Goetia. I'll give you one to get. Give you two of them to get. All you got to do now, you're going to reverse this thing. The 72 Goetias is these demons on the backside of the tree of life called a Kalipoth. The 72 Goetias are nothing but the 72 sons of Ptah, Osiris. The Goetias are supposed to be these entities in which Solomon binds together in his signet ring. The signet ring, or the ring, is the same as the so-called Lord of the Rings. The ring is the pineal gland. He binds, because the pineal gland, if you took this way and you look at a black dot, it's a circle, which represents the pineal gland. But that's the ring that they talk about, a Lord of the Rings forged in hell. Okay. Solomon, which is Sol, which is son. Amen, which is hidden son. What is the hidden son? Amen-Ra, which means hidden son. Amen means hidden and Ra means son. Amen-Ra, the hidden son, is Osiris, hidden in Amenta, the underworld. In this case again, Solomon is Amen-Ra. There was no historical Solomon. They built the temple of Israel. The temple of Israel is the physical body, the temple of Solomon. O Lord, I am black and comely. The 72 Damians are the 72 demons that Solomon binds to do his bidding, is the 72 chakras within inside of the pineal complex. There's 160 of these things. There's 72 within the pineal area. These are demons, Damians, hidden substance, alchemical substances, which is melanin. So Solomon binds the demons with his signet ring, which he binds the demons with his third eye. Now, there's magical text. There's the Goetia of King Solomon. You'll get it. Aleister Crowley's illustrated Goetia.
I spell Goetia.
G-O, let's see, I think that's G-O, let me see how I spell Goetia. Did I put it in what you call it? G-O-A,
G-O-A-T-I-A.
Yeah, that's it. G-O-A-T-I-A. Aleister Crowley's hidden Goetia. The Goetias mean howlings, which is talking about harlots, howlings. It's talking about magical substance or these particular demons of the inner world. Now, listen. The Goetias, if you get Aleister Crowley's illustrated Goetia, which doesn't work for them, that's why they're selling it out here, but I'm going to show you how you're going to do it in a few minutes. And you just have the lineup of those Goetias and whatever little magical text they got in the bag. All you have to do, because you are the gods, and you are the gods that's returned, only thing you got to do with any of these magical texts is somewhere within the magical text, whenever you get these books. Anybody got any books on magic? Yeah, all you got to do, the reason why that shit don't work, somewhere within the magical text, you got to go in and you got to create something that comes out of your head, which is, you are returned to God. So all you got to do is create something that comes out of your head and put it back with the magical text, and it automatically activates the shit. And only you can do it. You get what's coming here?
Yeah.
So in other words, you have to possess that which you profess to communicate.
No, this is what you got to do.
You have to possess it.
You have to possess it, but this is what you have to do.
If you say you're a magician, you have to have magic.
Right.
In order to make yourself efficient.
Efficient.
Or effective.
Effective.
So to be effective, you have to possess
Right.
that which you profess to communicate.
Communicate. That's
so
good.
If you're trying to communicate something to me, you got to have it. You got to have it yourself.
Right. Now, one of the keys here is this. You're right. They say that if it didn't exist spiritually, you wouldn't be able to think about it. So, there's a whole thing that say never think that your thoughts are not real because you're the first that heard it. You're the first that came up with it. So what happened here is don't think that your shit is not valid because you're the first to come up with it. So in so many words, magically is this. You the God now, right? If ye are gods, then it means that you need a magical text. If you want to do some magic, all you got to do is to think up something out of your head and fuse it in with these texts, and you reactivate it, because what's coming out of your head is the now and the new. And it is the ongoing legacy of these texts that you are bringing back in this particular time. You see what's coming on here?
Yeah. Ideas have energy.
Ideas have energy.
Produce an
What's
idea.
the Tahuti?
Even if
Right.
it's like I want to get a car. You have to think about it first.
Yeah.
Then it manifests itself into something physical.
Right.
Even if you say I'm gonna whip somebody's ass,
Right.
it's a thought, and then it manifests itself into an ass whipping sometimes.
Not only that, every feeling, everything out here that we see in this civilization had to start with what? An idea.
Oh, it's powerful.
Right. So what's happening with this stuff is all dead. Number one, white folks can't do it because they are not. They don't have the ancestral, original genetic makeup of the original man. And most of them don't exist because they don't have souls. The difference between the original sons, they'll tell you that Oprah says celebrating the spirit. Well, everybody got a spirit. Not everybody got a soul. Why you are here is the simple fact you are the original souls, and you are waking up. So that means if you are conscious, see right now, if you're conscious right now, for whatever reason, it means that you already ready. It's just that you got to have the belief system that whenever you tap into this stuff and you put that stuff back in, it can be anything. It don't matter what you think about. Whatever you think of in your mind is adequate. That's usually the shit that works. You see what I'm saying? That's usually the stuff that works. And that's how you reactivate these texts. They're dead, and if you do them verbatim on some stuff like that, really be honest with you, the first thing, everybody needs to build a certain altar in your house. That's the first thing. You build an altar in your house, and that way an altar is a conductor. It's a gateway to another universe, and you pull it in a certain amount of energy. Every race has an altar but white folks, and now us black folks, because we into this Christianity bullshit. You see what I'm saying? They tell you all that's evil. You go to them Asians, they got an altar right in the Chinese shop. So you got to build an altar, because if you don't have an altar in your house directed to a certain, not deity as far as you being the subordinate, but a certain amount of energy that's going to, objective energy that's going to be set for a certain energy to come in your house, like keys and codes, then your house gets to, and your apartment gets to run in the middle of any motherfucking thing. You see what I'm saying? Anything can come up there. Any asshole in the universe, anything can come up there based on the run of the mill. You see what I'm saying? So the first thing is to build an altar. The second thing here is, right now we're so advanced now until you don't need a lot of the technical things. You just got to line up with the right deities, and guess what? You invoke these deities in these magical books where they have the invocations. Really, be honest with you, it should be at the level right now that you don't need all of that stuff they say you gotta need. If you could just invoke, just like that affirmation I gave on Lakshmi. A lot of things, if you just speak it out of your mouth and invoke it, you can bypass a lot of this stuff. A lot of white folks gotta have a lot of this stuff because they're on a certain level. And we used to have a lot of this stuff in the past because the cycles were old, were young. And so we had thousands of years ago, so we had to do a lot of technical work. But now what we are in what is called the Eleusinian period. Eleusius is the other word. Remember in Gladiator they say if you fighting and you see yourself in the fields and the sun is at your face, he said, do not fret. You are in Eleusius and you're already dead. Well, Eleusius is the goddess Demeter, which is the goddess Lakshmi, which is the goddess Heteru, which is the goddess Sekhmet. And Demeter is a goddess who goes, when her daughter is snatched into the underworld, she has to go and set up residency in Eleusius outside of the underworld before she could go to the underworld and get the daughter back. Well, Eleusius is a gateway to the underworld, which is the other world to come. What used to be the underworld is the world to come. Now, since the tsunami, and since the Venus went across the sun, which ushered in this feminine energy, the gateway to the underworld, has come up to Eleusius. So we're right at the gateway, and in so many words, the white boy knows it. we are in what is called a null period where nothing appears the way it seems. We are already pretty much in the other world, and this is leftover residue. It's just that we are still thinking that we are in the world that we are now. But then again, the old methodologies and what you used to do to be successful out here ain't working.
That's right. That's right.
It's not working. And the reason why the old methodologies and what you used to do to stay above water and be successful is not working, because the atmosphere and all of that type of thing has changed. And the tsunami, since that tsunami, we are in what is called the Aleutian period. We're right at the border of sliding into what is called Universe B. What's that?
I was gonna share this. My father, he's a master when it comes to, when I say master, he grew up and he can read the moon. I mean, when he can read the moon. And he said after the tsunami, he said it will always, he said in Mississippi, it always sets in the north at that time of the year. He said that after the tsunami, he said that instead of sitting in the north, it was sitting in the south. You know.
See,
so he said there's a whole
shift and a whole gateway, and we're right in the Aleutian period. So what's happening here is we're in an extreme accelerated period. So what it means is what used to take a lot, let's say when these rituals were put down a couple of thousand years ago, and you had to go through all of this preparation. That's all wiped out now, because you are the ones that's coming back, and you are the ones that's here, and you're the one that's creating this perception line. The only thing you got to do is speak it.
Right.
So the only thing you got to do is take some of these invocations, especially in this Everest papyrus, the Everest papyrus, and speak it. You see what I'm saying? And it automatically appears. But somewhere in the speaking, you got to put your own creation, and the shit reactivates. That's all you got to do. And be chaotic about it.
Open gates for anything though?
Huh?
Won't you be like opening gates for anything to come through? Like anything.
Right. Let me explain. They say nothing to fear but fear itself. The only anything is because you've been trained as anything. So if you got these fears and these spook fears, that's what's going to manifest. If you have fearless, see, what you're dealing with here, you're dealing with commentary and knowledge based on people. It wasn't for them. Now we are the gateways and the stuff. Remember I told you I did half this shit and get mad? The Spirit said, you can't damn get the same experience these crackers gonna get with your own energy. You the God now, and once you declare yourself the high entity, like I said, remember I said at the beginning of the thing, see, everything is for a reason. I said you can't be subordinate no more. Let me give you an example. About 10 years ago, I'm riding around the country talking about year gods and all this type of thing here, but I was still worshiping these entities on the level that it was above me. My damn apartment shit ended, staying with another motherfucker, the car got hit. All kind of shit was fucked up. I'm like, what the hell going on? I did all this with the guys, and the spirits came back, 1995. The spirits say, oh, we can't help you no more. I said, why? They say, because you one of us now. So if you're going to be one of us, we can't help you in the aspect of a subordinate position. So if you're going to be one of us, you got to be one of us. So what it means is this. It says when Horus is a child, the elementals are his protectors. They look over him when he's a child. When he becomes an adult, they become his servants.
That's right.
It's a chain of command. So I was still looking at them as being subordinate. Oh, please, can you do this and all? When I was supposed to be doing like this. When you roll with your boy, you don't go, or your girl, you don't go, oh, sister so-and-so, so-and-so, or an entity being, can you help me so-and-so? You be like, look, motherfucker, we got to be in a place at a certain time. You need to get your goddamn ass over here now. Bitch, you late. Right. I'm saying, you see what I'm saying? These are intelligent. So this is what it's a mindset. It's a mindset. What is happening?
But you saying that one that's out of your mouth up though. You You
What?
said one of the things that study.
No. Now let me explain what that is.
Oh, okay.
That's a good example. Let me explain what that is. Let me explain what that is. Okay. And that was interesting because what you just said was going to lead into what I was getting ready to tell you about this. Let's say you 10. And no, let's say you got to change that over.
Change it.
Oh, man. I got it.
Can I stop right here? Okay.
Yeah, stop. Change it over. Okay. Now, check this out. Now, what's happening is this. Let's say you're 17 and you go out to party and your mama tell you had your ass back at 12. What they don't tell you is when you turn 18, the house that you living in, based on your grandfather, has left the house to you. And when you turn 18, you ain't got to have your ass back in the house because, motherfucker, it's your house. And they don't tell you that when you turn 18 and you still running in the damn house. And they forgot to tell you that the house is yours. You tell them to get the hell out. Well, it's the same thing with a group of entities. There's a group of entities, which is the gods of creation. They call Yahweh in Hebrew. They call Zeus in Greece. They call Ra in Egypt. That's the demiurge. You gotta go to the coffin text. There's a difference between Ra and Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra means the hidden sun, that's Osiris. Ra is an entity called the demiurge. That's the sun, which is the hologram, which is a subordinate deity. And I'm going to give you an example. You go to the coffin text. The coffin text, there's fragments still left behind. They tell you this story. You can get it in a book called The Daily Life of Egyptian Gods by, I think, a woman called Deatra Meeks, M-E-A-K-S. Just put it. All you need is that last name, Meeks. Daily Life, the only thing you need is the title to The Daily Life of the Egyptian Gods is the name of the book. And in there, they printed a piece of the coffin text that talks about Ra, that he was old, and he invited the gods to dinner. And when the gods got to dinner, he swallowed them up. Now, you break that down on the metaphysical level of what happened to us is, we were gods, and then we got trapped into the physical realm, and we got covered over into the physical body. So the earth has several variations of existence. We were on one level, and we were these gods that had more access to the universe. Then the vibratory rate slowed down, and we became more and more cased and densed in the physical bodies. And then this brain group, which had another intelligence in it, and we started thinking that we were the physical bodies. I'll tell you what I'll do. Okay.
You can't drink like orange juice or something. Y'all, you can bam and it seems like it's good, but it ain't.
No, man, it tastes just like seawater, man. Believe it or not. Once you drink it and all, it's a mental thing. It tastes just like seawater. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, you drink it down, it's going to be gone in a few minutes. It's all a mental thing. What's that?
No, I was going to ask, well, I was going to say that I just had a son and a daughter. My daughter is 2 now, my son is 1. But both of them, their DNA is totally different. They, when they were born, the doctor called it the DeGeorge syndrome. Probably, they say that they're probably missing something out of their DNA, but by you speaking on that, you know, shows that it is something different that's going on, because, you know, they said that my ex and myself, you know, they couldn't find anything within us for the cause.
Yeah, well, you know what? The doctors, they play a funny game, because see what it is because our DNA, look, they had a geneticist that came, to a genetics conference in 1998.
Okay.
And she said that they can't, our DNA is so different until they got to take another 100 years just to break it down and study it. That's why the Human Genome Project now went to Howard University. And they telling them they get ready to study 15,000 black people's DNA. Because now what that DNA that they can't understand, they call that junk DNA. And that's the highest level of the melanin that they can't understand. But they will never be able to understand because melanin keeps on changing. Melanin keeps on changing. Yeah. Now, Venus went across the sun on June the 6th, 2004, 666. When that Venus went across the sun, that represents the return of the Shakti power, the return of the feminine realm. Now, you get the movie called Mist of Avalon. You probably have to get it on DVD.
Mist of Avalon?
Mist of Avalon. It's called Avalon. It's called Mabagloggin. It's called Eleusis. Whatever it is, it's a mystical realm of the divine feminine. And you can't be let in this particular realm of the divine feminine until you can't be let in there with a patriarchal mindset. The woman has to be equal, and somewhat she has to be superior. You see what I'm saying? This is no threat to your ego. It's just the way the damn hierarchy goes. You see what I'm saying? She has to be superior. You see, even in the thing with Vishnu, which is the East Indian Heru, they ask him, what in the hell is your power? You Lord of the worlds. Where is your power coming from? The power that makes you Horus, Heru, the Christ. He said, all my power comes from Lakshmi, my feminine half. You see what I'm saying? So in so many words, in order to link back to that particular side, you got to get out of the mold of the patriarchal thinking. There's a realm of Avalon, Eleusis, and that's the realm that we are in now. And the reason why, if stuff ain't working for you, you got to get out of outmoded systems that is based on the patriarchal system. The patriarchal system is all exclusive. The matriarchal system is all inclusive. You see what I'm saying? Naturally, she gonna include her son. That's a man, but that's shit. That's her number one shit. It's a boy. Now, you can't get more inclusive than that. A mama and her damn boy is better than a mama and her damn daughter. You see what I'm saying? But that's already excluding the male, and that's one of the keys where as it can't, whatever you do in your magical endeavors, it has to involve feminine energy. Because I'm going to show you where this is all going in a few minutes. Because the heart, because you can't fool it. The Mist Avalon, or the realm of this realm, to access this realm that we are in, which is Amenta. You see, the Amenta, land of Osiris. But Osiris is worshipped as a mother deity. In order to access that realm, You can't access that realm outside of the female. Everything is perfect right now. You can't do shit without the female at this particular realm. You see what I'm saying? It's pertinent. You see, at this particular realm. Why? Because because inside of your heart is a female deity. That's the goddess Lakshmi. That's why I keep talking about her. She's inside of your heart. And she is the one that has the last say-so of who you are. You see, I thought my soul was. The soul is feminine. The Kundalini energy that's inside of us, the snake, is a feminine energy. You see what I'm saying? It's a feminine energy. So this is one of the keys. If you want to make the magic work, you got to get out of the outmoded shit of this male shit. You see what I'm saying? Why you think the government, who runs that damn rap industry, makes sure it's all about the boys? Right. And all about your homeboys. And the woman is just in some backdrop as some object.
Shaking her ass.
Relegated to the side. It's all about the boys. You see what I'm saying? That's government contrived. You see what I'm saying? Remember now, all of the music before that was black man's relationship to his woman. Right. Barry White. Right. Al Green. Teddy Pendergrass. You understand what I'm saying? It was in relationship to its woman. You see what I'm saying? On that particular level. You see? On that particular level. So, that's one of the aspects. The next aspect now for the magic to work. Because it's real simple. It's not all technical like you think. We're going to get into some of the things you need to do in a few minutes. Is to go to no self. Now, on October the 16th, 2002, I went to no self. And no self is I sat on a chair one night and Bobby Hemmitt disappeared. It was real lonely because I felt very insignificant. And then Bobby Hemmitt disappeared and I was nothing. And that's what you got to get to. But you got to let go all the pre-existing things that got you to this particular point to get to no self. And only till you get to no self, then you become entity. You see what I'm saying? So you become entity. And that's what's happening with the path. On the path, it can only be you. In the end, it can only be one, the Highlander. But that, they say in the end, it can only be one. It's metaphysical. It means it can only be yourself. Mm-hmm. But you have to annihilate and neutralize everything else. Your prior self, which is your ego, the self that you thought you knew. The social realm around you and the world around you, you have to go to no self. You see. Then once you go to no self, pretty much everything else is pretty easy because your status in the society don't matter no more. Money don't matter no more. And whatever you do don't matter no more. You want to scratch your ass outside. Fuck it! See what I'm saying? Money don't matter no more. Certain things don't matter no more. Because you've gone beyond that particular part. And so, you get the accolades for people who correspond to you to make you feel better. It don't even matter no more. But they say, you know, that's when you got to go back to the mythology. Luke Skywalker, when they told him to go to the Jedi Master, he saw a little man living in a shithole eating stew. He totally misconstrued it. Because he was thinking that the Master's supposed to be omnipotent, sitting on a crown, doing all this kind of thing here. The one that's omnipotent sitting on the crown is not the one in the physical. That's the one in the inner. You got to get to that. That's the royalty. That's the kingdom. The one out here is supposed to be shit. It's supposed to be confused as being nothing. You see what I'm saying? So that's what had to happen when they had to neutralize yourself to the no-self energy. You got to get yourself to no-self. And it's real simple. You just start devaluing everything around you that you think is important. That's why I said one thing about cutting family loose. So they said the whole thing be in the world of the world, which means this here. So this is what it means. Okay, when we first come in this particular knowledge and information, we want to beat somebody over the head with it. You go to your family, try to tell them about this shit. Your family got a trick for you. Your motherfuckers, you come with your ass beat over the head. Your family fuck you up every time because niggas just get ignorant on you. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And they get irrational. And illogical. You can't speak to them on this shit. That is so, but because this knowledge and information was not based on you giving it to them. It was based on you learning this particular stuff so your soul can wake up. You see what I'm saying? So the first thing is to go to no self. To go to no self. The next thing here on any magical thing is to recognize the equinoxes and the solstices. You gotta understand the cardinal points. Spring equinox, fall equinox, winter solstice, summer solstice. So the next big thing up is the summer solstice. You see what I'm saying? That's the first aspect of understanding this particular aspect of how you're going to get the magic to work. Okay. Let me go through some other things right quick. You want to get a book called Basic Magic by Phil Cooper. Same one that got the book Magician. You want to read the book because it's going to be one of the most basic forms of magic. Then after you read the book, remember what I said again? You add your own shit and you reactivate it. Okay? Basic Magic by Phil Cooper. Then change the magic, creating your own ritual, adding it to the old ritual, and you reactivate it because it's talking about creative physics. Creative physics. That's why the whole world knows. Follow what them niggas do in America.
Yeah.
Whatever you do in America, they own it. See what I'm saying? They own it. They learned that shit a long time ago. You see what I'm saying? Now, the first thing you want to do in meditation, certain set techniques. One of the techniques is, you go into meditation, you go to the end of the spine, make it look like a little snake tail, all in your mind. A little snake tail with a tip on the end. You're going to go into meditation. You're going to break the tip off. Then you're going to take these little gold strings. And you're going to take, they're going to come from up at the tip and they're going to wrap around your spine. Little gold strings, look like guitar strings. And you do one by one, by one, by one, until you do them, until, in the meditation, until you cover your whole spinal column. When you cover your whole spinal column with it, it's going to look like the same Olympic torch. It's a snake, but it's going to look like the same Olympic torch, because the Olympic torch is nothing but the torch that Prometheus stole and gave to man. That's the Kundalini pineal gland. And at the end, you're going to have a beam of light. You see, it could be a fire, or did you see Excalibur? Anybody saw the movie Excalibur? Get that movie. And see Merlin, when it's just like a beam of light. Just let it be a beam of light. It's the lightsaber. All that shit is the same mythology. So you're going to take these gold cards in meditation. You're going to wrap them around your spine. Until when you cover the entire spine in meditation, because in meditation, the biggest thing about meditation is thinking you're doing it wrong. Meditation is creative visualization. Whatever you create up in there, you are actually doing the right thing. So you take these gold cords and you run it up that spine, and then you imagine a light at the top of the spine. Now, this is what happens. Whenever you're out and about to really use your magic, because all this stuff is creative visualization. So you have to love a lot of these techniques you see in the book. It can get confused. Now let's say you out and you someplace and you need to get from point A to point Z and there's somebody standing in your way. Might be some business transaction, Might be some nigga that don't want to do right and give you some money. You know what I'm saying? Or give you a loan or whatever. What you do is you take the white light, you pulsate that light out of your pineal gland and you hit him in the face with it. But when you hit him in the face with it, you transfer the thought that you want them to have. And the shit will work.
I had a dream about that.
So you keep this thing, you take the white light, and you just hit them in the face with it. Give you an example. So sister sent me a ticket. I was supposed to be at a lecture in Detroit. This is about 10 years ago. Sister sent me a ticket. It had somebody else's name on it. But this was before 9/11 and all that, so you could travel a certain way. And the woman was like, nah, it's going to cost you $40 to reactivate this shit. I said, ma'am, I got to be in Detroit in about 2 hours. She's like, I'm sorry, old racist cracker. And all I started doing was to take that damn white light and kept hitting her in the face with it until she said, oh, what the hell? Go ahead, put me on the damn light. So you can do this. One sister went to court and was hitting the judge with the white light, and the judge looked like this and said, he said, he went ahead and gave her what she wanted. She was a lawyer. But he gave her what she wanted. And at the end, when she was walking out, he said, we need to talk sometime, sister. It was a white man. But he recognized she was running some stuff on him. Hit him in the head with that beam of white light. You see. Now, you want to get the energy of the pineal gland active. I had a method, but I lost the damn formula. And it took me damn near 10 years to get the shit back. 11 years, no, 9 years. No, it was 10 years to get the damn formula back. And it was 3 vitamins. One of them was L-lysine, which is amino acids. And one was selenium. Third one I lost, which was phenylalanine. So you take L-lysine, phenylalanine, and selenium. Take them 3 vitamins. I used to take those vitamins and my pineal gland would become L-lysine. Just spell it, Ebonics. Yes, the wrong person to spell it.
What about the
Phenylalanine. Phenylalanine.
P-H-E-N-O-L-E.
L-lysine, phenylalanine, and selenium. Now, you take those 3 together, and your pineal gland will really start being active.
These are vitamins?
These are vitamins. Phenylalanine and L-lysine are amino acid, and selenium is a mineral. And that will start activating the pineal gland. Other techniques. There was a movie called Nostradamus that came out in 1994. Nostradamus, I can't think of this guy. It's a French actor. It's a Nostradamus movie. But in there, he went to a Moor's house there. But although they showed the man as a white man, it was a Moor because he was Islamic. He had all these ancient texts. And so in so many words, they were saying that Nostradamus was trained by this Moor. On NBC News the same year, they showed Nostradamus being followed around with this black man. Anytime you see the black man following around, like the guy Hakeem Bey says, that is never the servant, that's the teacher. You'll see him all through history. You'll see a black man with a turban in the background. Most people think those are servants, those are teachers. Now let me give you another thing on how this goes. In the movie, the Moor tells Nostradamus to clear his visions up. He need to take, he said, nutmeg and another elixir. The guy said nutmeg. He said, and other things. So they didn't give the whole system. They didn't give the whole thing. They just said nutmeg. But what it is, you take some nutmeg, some cinnamon, and some honey, and boil it in a tea. And it will clear up your visions. I knew a brother up in New York named Bill Lee. He used to take that nutmeg And that nigga be on that nutmeg, and we go downtown, and he be talking to these spirits, and be having a ball. So nutmeg, cinnamon, and honey. Now,
Do what with it?
you boil it into a tea.
I mean,
Put some water.
Some water in there and boil it.
Put some nutmeg, some cinnamon, and some honey. You can even put some lemon up in there.
Is this a process or, like, I mean, is this something you have to take for a period of time and then start?
It could. It works different for different people. Okay. The next thing here is the realm of sleep. The first thing you got to do is you can't sleep with nothing electrical on in your room. The electromagnetic waves interfere with the pineal gland and the ability to go into sleep time. Now let me explain what sleep time is. When you regular sleep, your body rests. You rarely go into the dream realm. You get residue, but you don't go into what is called a deep sleep. And the reason why you don't really get a deep sleep, for two things happening. You might wake up several times a night, go to the bathroom, and although you don't remember it because you still be sleepy, your eyes might open a couple of times before you wake up. Each time you wake up like that, you're breaking sleep. That's called fragmented sleep. In order to get to the dream realm where you can get melanin to heal you or to have the visions, you have to go into what is called deep sleep. And deep sleep is the realm where your soul is, and that's your true self. And it can do all the healing. Now, the way to do that here is, remember now, in Hemmitt, pharmaceutical was not bad. Just the white man saying that only pharmaceutical is what the fuck he wants, which makes it bad. But chemistry and pharmaceuticals, we always had mind-altering things. You see what I'm saying? It was done through the realm of alchemy and chemistry. See where I'm coming from here? So now, with the pharmaceutical, the white boys come in because he really needed this because, you know, he has less amount of melanin. So he has a real bad time to sleep. And that's why melanin and sleep is the same. That's why they can take the melanin out of you, make it into a pill, give it to a white man, and he fall asleep. Melatonin. The melatonin. So, he came up with the shit, diaphrotrypamine or whatever this thing is. And in so many words, is what is in Unison, Tylenol, PM, or what they now got is called Simply Sleep. Now, every now and then, in order to get the real juice, you got to go to dream realm. And in order to go to dream realm, you got to jack in. It's like jacking into the matrix with the blue pill. Light blue pill, Simply Sleep. Dark blue pill, Unison. Now, don't worry about it because the Simply Sleep, because they designed it based on melanin. In the book Melatonin, Your Body's Own Wonder Drug, by J.O. Robinson and Henry J. Reader, R-E-A-D-E-R. Henry J. Reader and Joe Robinson. It's called Melatonin, Your Body's Own Wonder Drug. They designed this diaphrotrypamine or whatever it's called. Anyway, it's Tylenol, Simply Sleep, or Unison. They designed this shit for melanin. The mystery here is, because they needed it, but the mystery here is because we live in a fucked up world. So this is what happens. The less amount of sleep you get, this is the doorway. The least amount of sleep you get, you stay away from the doorway. The more sleep you get, the more and more you go to the doorway. So but you got to get a deep sleep. See, it's not how much sleep you get, but what kind of sleep you get. You'll see that in the movie The Hunger with Catherine Deneuve and David Bowie as vampires. Why the vampire has to get a certain amount of sleep. That's Osiris. Bram Stoker's Dracula was nothing but the Osirian myth retold. He got it through a dream. And his second in the world of books. second only to the King James Version Bible. It's Bram Stoker's Dracula, and that's the Osirian drama. But he has to get a certain amount of sleep. You see what I'm saying? So, when you jack in with the unison, the closer and closer you get to the wall of sleep, the closer and closer you come to yourself in the particular aspect for healing and in the tap into certain centers that's going to make you stronger magically and spiritually. You getting this? So get you some unison and jack in on that particular level. Don't worry about, oh, it's a spirit thing. You see what I'm saying? So don't worry about whether it's safe for you. It's going to be safe. Now, when you wake up, you feel a little drowsy, just drink a tall glass of water. But I'm trying to tell you how to get to the dream time, because the dream time is where you're going to get all your particular healing. But what's going to happen here is the electromagnetic shit in your room. You got to unplug everything in your room, even a car, even a fucking clock. You can't have nothing on in the room where you sleep.
You mean turn it off? And
You got to just unplug it from the wall, because the TV is still on. It's just called standby. Most appliances just be on standby. They're no different than them being still playing when they're off and when they're on. You see what I'm saying? What's that?
Don't you have to, like in psychology, don't you have to get at least 6 hours sleep in order to tap into that REM sleep or that deep
Right.
sleep?
It's the same concept. Look. See, these doctors, these motherfuckers don't know nothing when it comes to healing. They can pack symptoms, but they can't heal. That's why every time you see a commercial on new shit they selling, it's got 400 side effects.
Oh, that's so
Right,
crazy.
Now, the reason why they don't know is because they don't really do nothing. Guess what?
Right.
When you go to a damn doc, let's say you get shot or you almost die, guess what heals you? Sleep. They put you in a damn bed, and basically they charge your ass for fucking sleeping. And that's what heals you. That's the only healing there is. Because the white man, he never could heal. He can heal the symptom, the cause, symptom, but he can never heal the cause. He can cure a symptom, but not the cause. Sleep is what does it. And water. Water is key. Because people die. The number one killer in this country is dehydration.
I thought it was cigarettes.
No, dehydration and sleep deprivation. Not even that, hell. They had a guy, they caught it, they had it in the Bronx. Because they said it's really no telling based on the diet. It's based on your mind. They got a nigga in the Bronx, a black guy in the Bronx, 115 years old. And guess what he was eating? He was eating bread soaked in fatback and 3 gallons of Thunderbird wine a week. And was 117 years old. The one that was 125 years old smoked a pack of cigarettes a day and drank liquor. So obviously it's based on a mind thing, because on the other hand, they got people that's got the healthy diet, and they do all that, and they come down with cancer and all kind of shit. Because number one, the reason why they come down with cancer, because they spend their lives worrying about that everything that they eat and around them going to be dangerous, and guess what? The body produces that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It produces that. You think I'm bullshitting? Go out there and see them bums. They've been on the street eating out of trash cans. I know some of them been out there
And
for
smoking
damn
crack.
10 years, 15 years, and them motherfuckers still walking around. And yet the niggas is all is dying like flies with all kind of cancer. Number one, what's the method to the bum's madness? Number one, they tell you the only motherfucker free around here is a person without responsibility. And because he don't have no responsibility, he's already given up. He don't have no strength. It's in the movie Fight Club. Motherfucker say, you got to give the fuck up. Until you give up, you don't get it. And all it was a dialogue between the man and himself. Fight Club. He said, you must remember that God don't even love you. You must give up. You are not your house, your car, and all of those types of things. So it's based on the mind. You see what I'm saying? It's based on the mind. But you got to unplug the shit in your room, because it blocks the pineal gland. The other thing that blocks the pineal gland is fluoride, which calcifies and hard the pineal gland. Now, the
Fluoride.
fluoride. The doorway to the temple is the inner ear nucleus. And in order to get to the inner ear nucleus, you got to tunnel through and you got to start candling out your ears. Anybody ever heard of ear candling?
Yeah.
You got to start candling out your ears, because what's affecting the pineal gland from the magic is you got enough, the mucus or the wax is walled up, and you got to start candling out your ears. The more you candle out your ears, the more and more you get to the doorway to the inner ear temple. So ear candling is key. Ear candling is key.
What is that?
You can get somebody else to do it for you? 'Cause
Yeah.
I tried it.
No, you got to get somebody else to do it until you learn.
Yeah, you can learn the process.
You can learn the process and do it yourself, but you get somebody else to do it and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, 'cause I tried
the
that.
candles are very expensive,
Okay.
but that's the key. Ear candling. The inner ear nucleus. Do you know what gives sight before sight is the inner ear nucleus? All in the book, African Origins of Biological Psychiatry, Richard King. The inner ear nucleus is the doorway to the temple. That's the doorway to the temple. You see what I'm saying? The inner ear nucleus. So you got to clean out your ears. Now, this is Zarabanda. I'm going to leave the book with him. He's going to make copies of the book. Zarabanda has a gateway, which is a black pot. The pot is a gateway to another universe. Zarabanda, this is Palo Manome. This is more powerful shit left. So you're going to take these signatures, you see what I'm saying, and you're going to build an altar, and you're going to hang these signatures up over an altar. This is what you need. This is the most powerful shit.
That's why we came.
This Palo Manome. Palo Manome. This is the most powerful shit going. But this particular book is out of print. But he's gonna make copies of it and disseminate the book to you. This is the most powerful stuff. Zarabanda, El Cristo Negro, El Cristo Rey, Los Spirituals and Tranquilos, Madre de Agua, Santissima Pedro Iman, Madre de la Luna, San Simón, Francisco Siete Reyes, and Mama Shola. These are the signatures that you're going to make your altar from, but there's also the characteristics that you're going to make your altar from. And then there's an initiation that you're going to initiate yourself into the realm of Zarabanda or Kumbanda. Friday night at 11 a.m., day 1. They got day 2, then they got midnight. So you're going to start on day 1, then you're going to go to midnight, and you're going to just say what they say. Now, they got 3 days, they got 7 days initiation. I just say that you come amongst yourself and be creative and just do it. 1 night would be sufficient for Kumbanda in there. You can do, there's 7 days in this thing here, but you can do 3 days if you want. If you don't think so, you think you need 7 days or whatever. But in here is going to be a book, and this book going to break down all of the stuff. Now, fortunately with this, because this is a system that's still in function, you don't have to do much with the creativity. It's already there. Because this is the shit that's working. That's why Kumbanda is why the government got this shit on lockdown. Now, this is one of the keys. You don't have to run off and join join some Palo cult or some Palo thing. Those are practitioners, and although they do their work and the magic does work, they're still on the practitioning level, which means they got to be subordinate to Zarabanda and them. What we're talking about is being one with Kumbanda. You see, one with Kumbanda. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so in that particular case, you don't have to join another group. You basically are going to have have a personal relationship with your Savior, Jesus Christ. You have a personal relationship with the entities